Excellent, thank you. Yeah, so a lot of the information around and science around the history of this work has simply been lost. It's been lost through the generations and peoples of changes, all the beliefs and the structures around what actually does it take. And with the personal development industry that kicked off in the 60s and 70s, and the whole world, government and doctors and everything leading us towards that we have a problem that we must fix. And it's just not true. There's actually nothing wrong with this. We're just in the wrong structure. So I'm going to cover that through this webinar, which is really, really exciting. And I hope you'll get a lot out of it, and you'll certainly be able to grow and really see the truth into what it is that who you are and what you want to create, which is so much more powerful. It's so much more powerful to focus on who you're being and what you want to create than what it is in focusing and trying to fix yourself, which is both different ends of the scale. One's fixing yourself, what's wrong with me? The other one's coming from inner power of creation and just creating what it is that you love. And then once we go through that and we'll do some education, the beautiful thing around it is when we're focusing on what we want to create, when we do the RECODE, which you'll experience today, that's actually all about removing the resistance, which is really, really cool. Excellent. Cool. So we were having the RECODE and we're working with our superconscious to remove the sabotaging belief. It's basically the resistance that's in the way of our creations, which is really, really powerful. We all have these beautiful creations, these things that we want to create in our life. And then when we go to take the action, that's when we feel the resistance. If we're sitting in our chair or driving a car thinking about what we want to create, we get this beautiful power and energy around it. There may be some resistance in the thought process, conscious part of it, but generally the most resistance is when we start taking the action. Now we might start taking the action, have some results, and then it pulls us back again. And then we're isolating, which I'll also cover in this webinar. So basically, the end result is you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. We're just focusing on the wrong structure, and we're not creating what it is that we love. And that's exactly why we have that so much resistance in our way, because we're focusing on the wrong structure. Okay, cool. And if we think about the some of the successful people in the world, like Michael Jackson, obviously was in the right structure of creation, but obviously took a lot of his resistance into his desired reality end result and had a lot of those sabotaging beliefs everything going on because he had a lot of stuff going on. It was clear Michael was not comfortable with himself. You know, if we look at Donald Trump, you know, clearly he had a lot of stuff going on. Even Warren Buffett, you know, clearly had a lot of stuff going on, but was the third richest guy in the world. So there's no connection between being in the right structure, whether you have money or no money, or you have limiting beliefs or no limiting beliefs. The only thing that's really, really common and completely true is focusing on the right structure, which is your beautiful desired reality, which is your inner power and creating everything that you love. So what I'll do here is I'll just get my screen ready to share. Looks like it's just the four of us today, which is just beautiful. I truly believe everything is meant to be the way it's meant to be, and we will attract everyone that we're meant to. And beautiful, what's going on here? So has anyone had the experience of the beautiful RECODE before? Has anyone done any work with Chris Duncan before, maybe online through YouTube, etc.? Just waiting for this to load. It's such a powerful work, and it's been, you know, my beautiful journey of learning all this stuff and being able to serve and share it with others. It's so, so cool because if you learn this work, you'll never need anything else. It's so powerful. Once you start taking action, and it does, you know, the work does take time. It does take anywhere between 6 to 12 months to remove all the resistance, because as we're creating new things, there's more true resistance. So it does take a while to work through that process. So I'll just share my screen and we'll start the slides and we'll get into it, eh? Excellent. So, like I mentioned, you are not broken. So many buttons from the beginning. You're not broken. How to remove unwanted feelings and emotions that don't serve you. Now, that might be simply because you want to start creating video content. It might be that you want to speak live on stage in front of people, public speaking. It does not matter what it is. Whatever it is true to you that you want to create, this work is powerful. We can remove the emotions and feelings because what we're actually doing is removing them off past memories. So my goal today is to show you by removing this resistance with the superconscious RECODE and working from the right structure, you can become a powerful superconscious creator and live a life that you love. If you want to become a 6 or 7 figure influencer, impact millions, just do what you love. Do you want better health, more energy, stronger relationships, even relationships with friends and family, it doesn't really matter. More wealth, less debt, less discomfort, less frustration, more confidence and freedom. You can actually have anything you choose. We've just got to choose that structure. So I'll just drop that down here. I appreciate you is what I guarantee today. I'll not waste your time. I will give you actionable steps. I will offer the next step with you for those that want to take it. I will stay around and answer questions at the end. I will stay for as long as what you want to, and I'm so grateful you're here. So thank you so much for showing up and being part of it. It's really great to have you here. It's really, really important because this work attracts the right people. It's working in the field, it's working with your superconscious, it's working with wanting to have more, wanting to create more, which is just so cool. So how to get the most out of this training, just turn off the phone and be present. Take loads of notes, take action after the process. We go through RECODE, you're going to get a whole lot of actionable steps to come through. Take action on those because it helps teach our unconscious that we're creating it. And obviously questions at the end. What we'll cover today is how the consciousness works, structure and why success is not personal. How the superconscious rapid RECODE works to remove the resistance, the beliefs that don't serve you, what's in the way. Because of this program, I have been lucky enough to create my own coaching company, build a successful global business. I've always wanted to have my own coaching company ever since I was younger, but I had these beliefs that was in the way. And now I have clients all around the world, which is really, really cool. I've been able to feature in podcasts, host live virtual events. I'm only one of 500-ish certified coaches. That's changing all the time. They're actually teaching this method in the world, so it's pretty powerful. I'm so blessed and excited to be able to do that. It's enabled me to live a life of freedom, doing what matters, which is most my true nature and purpose, which is really, really cool. So here's some photos of me and my beautiful family. There's me and Kirst celebrating on the left there. Actually in Thailand, those couple of photos, doing a live event, doing a podcast, and just spending time with a beautiful family, which is really, really cool. So thank you, Kirst, for all that you do. But it wasn't always this way. In 2021, I was a husband and father who was losing interest in the personal development business that I owned. And the reason being is I'd been through the products, I'd been through the content, and I still had the sabotaging belief. I still had resistance to creating what I loved. I couldn't talk in public without getting anxious and nervous. I had a massive fear of the camera. I had a fear of being around people. It used to make me feel uncomfortable, and I wanted to know what it was. So I wanted to help people, but struggled getting past my own feelings of not being good enough and the big one, not belonging. I felt like I wanted more out of life, but was stuck in my own skin. I was trying to make it work. I created my own healing and transformation program. I studied and learned many modalities. I enrolled in many different coaching programs, seminars, and attended many personal development events. Then everything changed. I came across an advert just like what you've come across if you've come from Facebook or YouTube or whatever it may be. I come across an ad, I answered by Christopher Duncan. I went along to an event and it completely changed my life. I'd found the secret. I'd found the missing link to removing the resistance that's in the way by using your superconscious to actually take more action with ease. Take the action easily to create it. And then once we started taking the action and creating it, then everything started to fall in place. So I spent over $20,000, completed a 6-month study to become one of the 500 coaches, and I mentioned teaching this one-of-a-kind process. It's only been out around 2 to 3 years based on a whole lot of neuroscience from the world's best, which is really, really powerful. I started my own coaching business, long life passion. I launched my website, GregJonesNZ.com, hosted my first live event, created my own programs, which is really, really cool. So we spent quite a bit of time, looking at the markets and actually seeing what was actually really available. One-on-one coaching, having a masterclass, which has got a really low price point, which is just as powerful as everything else, but enables everybody to get in the start doing the content. There's over 70 live recordings. 70 live recordings and 6 live coaching calls per week. There's meditations, videos, processes. There's so much stuff in there, and it's been really, really powerful. There's a lot of Chris Duncan's content in there as well. And then I've got one-on-one coaching programs as well. Here have been some of my results. Charlie, Greg has gotten me to a better place in life. It was like being born into a new life. There is much more positivity and happiness in my life. Greg helped me let go of my self-limiting beliefs and the most constant anxiety. I'm grateful to have Greg in my life. Charlie came to me. We worked with Charlie. He had quite a lot of pain on past memories as a child. And once we started releasing that, then he started having a life that he chose, a life of, like he mentioned there, of more happiness. Now, Charlie also suffered from up to 40 heart palpitations per hour, and he suffers from none. We're able to clear all that. And the video testimony of him is on our website, gregjonesnz.com, which you're welcome to look at. Love you, Renee. She had a beautiful session with Renee. Renee loves public speaking. She loves being out there and really sharing the world. She works in the beautiful spiritual and frequency industries, and she's got a beautiful gift, but she just couldn't use her voice. So we're able to unblock her chakra and remove some resistance around when she was a child. So now she's actually out there creating her voice and doing some beautiful things, which I'm so proud of, which is so cool. Here's Chris Duncan on the left with Dean Adams. Dean used a magnetic mind to regain his sight, which is so powerful. Had a stroke at the age of 42, was blind for 20 years, and within 3 months was able to get his sight back. Now, the beautiful thing about the examples around using Dean here, Dean never focused on being broken or being blind. He just simply focused on what he wanted to create, which was able to play with his grandchildren. He wanted just to be able to get up and play with his grandchildren, and that was his end result, his desired reality. That's what he focused on, removed the resistance stopping him from doing that, and then he was simply able to have it, which is pretty powerful. So does Patrick. Rails run for the first time in 9 years after a car accident, which is really, really powerful. And yes, so what we'd like to do now is let's do some education on the board so you get a bit of an idea of how it all works. Has anybody not here seen the education video that I sent through? I just want to get a bit of an idea of how everyone's education's at. Did everybody get a chance to read that? To watch it, sorry. I watched a few videos, but not sure which ones. Sorry, that's cool. No worries. Yes, okay, cool. Excellent. Right, good. So it's really, really important that when we're doing anything new in our modality, especially when we're dealing with our consciousness, that we actually learn how it'll work so our conscious and our unconscious can be on board, because then we get a bigger shift and a bigger win, which is really powerful. So if we were to look at it up here, look at our conscious, which is all about thought. The smaller part of our brain is all about thought. When we when we go to sleep, obviously our conscious goes to sleep and our unconscious keeps our heart going, our body going, everything else. Now, unconscious is very, very powerful, which is our bigger part of our brain, and it's all about survival. It's all about feeling. It's all about keeping things the same. Now, our unconscious, it wants us to have survival. So this is a big key. When we actually start going to create something new, if the unconscious hasn't done it before because it likes to keep things the same, it goes, well, what if we do this new thing? What if we die? Because it doesn't know. So it's really, really crucial that we actually realize that our unconscious is actually trying to serve us and give us the ability to create more, but keep us safe without getting too far out of our comfort zone. And then if we do go too far out of its comfort zone, if we've had an experience in the past where we've been let down or had a bad experience, we might have some feelings and emotions attached to a memory that's also creating that resistance. So we have our current reality and we have our desired reality. Now, say, for example, if we look at what we want to create. So say, for example, I'll just let Pretty join in here so they can get the most out of this as well, because this is quite an important piece. You want to watch the education video, and there's so much information. It's very, very cool. And it's so true, because if we're focusing on what we want to create, we just leave everything else that we don't behind, because everything that we leave behind is dysfunctional patterns of giving us the belief that we're broken. So when we truly want to start focusing on what we want to create, it might be love, it might be money, it might be relationships. It might be simple, just we want to have health. We want to have full health and vitality. It doesn't matter what it is, it's just whatever we choose, which from our inner power that we just love to. Everything in our desired reality, we choose it just because we love it, not for any other reason. You know, as a parent, we're always trying to do the best for our children. And this is where a lot of us can go wrong. If we want to create massive wealth and do this, or create the goodness for our kids' future, we're giving our power away. Excuse me, we're giving our power away to that dysfunctional pattern. And the reason I say that is, if we actually focus on what we love and create it and just step into it with our inner power, the end result is going to be much bigger and it's going to be huge. Then of course our children are going to benefit naturally. It happens naturally. That's why we must focus on what we love. We must focus on our true desired reality and start taking the action around that. Just let everything else go. But in the current reality, if we're wanting to create this, it might be an online business where you can go out and serve others and create wealth, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be, this is your desired reality. Now, because we don't have this yet, that this is more, and this is key, because this is more, then that simply means this must be less. We don't have love, so we might be lonely. We don't have money as much as what we'd like, so we might have scarcity. We don't have relationships, so we could be tired. We don't have health because we might be sick, and so on. So once we actually look at these two and actually break the truth down, we have two structures. We have a structure of being stuck, a structure of flowing, just having it all, inner power, just loving life, loving everything. And then, of course, we have isolating in the middle. Now, isolating is when we have our current reality being stuck and we say, right, I'm going to start creating that content. I'm going to go meet new people. I'm going to get a higher paying job. I'm going to start working on my health. We start going for it. We start going for what we want is more. We're going for what we love. And when we start going for this desired reality, that's when the resistance pops up in our field and causes us to have resistance, to have dysfunctional patterns. Now, what happens is we have here, and this is what society has taught us for the last few decades, that there's something wrong with you, that you must go fix yourself. And the reason why you think you must go fix yourself, because you might have a sabotaging belief in here of not good enough, not capable, not worthy. The fear of doing it, the fear of others may think. You may have judgment in here, being judged by others, whatever it may be. Then all this resistance in here pulls us down and think we have to go fix ourselves. And that's because it's our current identity. Our current identity says to us, what are you going to go over here for and have this? You haven't had it before. There's something wrong with you. You must come down and fix yourself. So we go on that journey, and this was certainly mine. This was my big structure that I was in. So what I do here is you go down here, you might do another course, do another program, do another modality, read a book, whatever it may be. And you'll have some wins, you'll have some progress. And this is just beautiful because we are starting to grow and get some shifts. So we'll come up here and then we'll go for it again. We'll go for having what we love, what we truly want, what we're truly inspired to be. And then once again, the resistance will come up. So then we'll go down here, we might read another book. And you can see this pattern. When we're in this pattern, what are we doing, team? What are we doing? What are we doing when we're in this structure? We are not creating what we love. And this is key. This is why it's so important in this work. Yeah, putting band-aids on the problem. Absolutely. Beautiful. So when we're in this work, we step into desired reality, we remove the resistance, take action to have this and be it before you see it, just stepping into it, which is so much more powerful. It's so much more fun and it's a beautiful journey because we're simply working on what we love, inner power, excitement, everything, true purpose and nature. So that's pretty much it. Life is a structure. When we're stuck and we don't know what we want, we're not creating anything, we go looking and searching, then we might find it as we're working on our desired reality. So we might have some wins. We might start a program. We might start to have some success, get our website up and running, get our first client, and then we go into a lull. We have another dysfunctional pattern pop up that pulls us back. The whole time we're going through this process, the old identity, because it doesn't know this new identity yet, and it believes it may die, doesn't want you to create this new identity, because to have that, this identity here must die. So these two identities at the moment in the structure are not the same. So basically what we're doing by creating all this new content, we're creating the new identity, and it's coming over to have this new identity of being that successful person, whatever that means to you. having more love, having more health, being on purpose, serving others, whatever it may be. And this new identity, once we've been in this work for a few months, the new identity is created, and then it realizes that you don't die creating what you love, and then it just gives you more of it. And it's when you start getting the Matthew effect, who has more, it just gets higher, and then we just create more content as we go. An example around that would have been 18 months ago, 2 years, when I wanted to be a coach and I wanted to help others. I went on this journey because I wanted to figure out how this worked, because I had it was in my way. I wanted to know why we had this and how we could remove it so I can simply have more of this. Because I was in the structure, I had great success over the years of creating what I loved, but I kept getting pulled back. The isolating, sometimes right over to being stuck, and then I have to go back again. And it's a very, very hard journey. It takes a lot of energy, and you end up making a lot of silly mistakes along the way because you're dysfunctional. If you're isolating in any way or form, you're coming from your dysfunctional habits and not creating everything you love just because you love it being in there full time. So, yeah. So that's why success is structure. It's all about being the structure, and it's not personal. You do not have to fix yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You've just got to be in the right structure. Excellent. Cool. So if anyone's got a question, feel free to throw it in the chat box. I'd love to hear from you if you choose. Oh, just close it down. What's going on here? Mouse is going flat. What timing? Isn't that just beautiful? Just two. Okay, so let's crank that back up again. So do we have any questions there at all? Feel free if you do. And if not, I shall just carry on with my slides so we can all get the most out of it today. And like I said, if you want to take any notes, to ask any questions at the end, please feel free to do so, because it's how we all learn and serve each other. Lovely, here we go. So the 6 main sabotaging beliefs, my swelling tooth again, or the protection gum, whatever. The sabotaging beliefs that don't serve us. There's 6 main ones. There is 9 in general, but there's 6 main ones that really do get in our way. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't belong. That was my big heavy one. I'm not perfect. I'm not capable, or I'm insignificant. Now, you may relate to all of them or some of them. Some of them may stand out more than the others. There's no right or wrong in this work. It's just sabotaging beliefs that we've taken on as a memory from the age of 0 to our current age now. Sometimes we can have memories passed down from mum and dad. If they've had sabotaging beliefs, they can pass it on to us. So we may have a memory from that within our unconscious we're completely unaware of until we go to take action on something. It may come up, especially with European countries from all the wars and the pain and suffering, everything that's been going on over there, especially the past 150 years. They may have war memories torn of scarcity, of death, all the rest of it. They might have memories around staying away from war, anything to do with conflict, run the other way, etc. So it's really, really powerful. We talk about these sabotaging beliefs, and I'll just talk about the video actually with my 6-year-old girl in my education video. As a 6-year-old girl, she goes up in front of the class after a weekend with her parents to show a picture in front of the whole class of what she did. Now, the whole class has to draw a picture and go up one by one and talk about their weekend experience with their parents. And they all do this. And then this specific girl gets up, and as she's walking to the front of the class, she trips over. Now, as she trips over, the whole class laugh at her. So she will put up a sabotaging belief that getting in front of others is not good. It's embarrassing. It's painful. You'll get ridiculed. Don't do it. So her unconscious will take that pattern on, and getting in front of others is not cool. Don't do it. So for the rest of her life, when she's going to get in front of groups of people, she'll get sweats. She'll get anxiety. She'll basically get the feelings and emotions that she put there as a 6-year-old, but coming up as an adult. So the crazy thing about that is it may have served her when she was younger to protect her from pain, but when she's in her 20s and she simply wants to get up in front of 1,000 people on stage and talk about her product that she's invented, or talk about the company that she works for, she's going to have massive resistance to that. It's going to be very difficult for her to do it. Obviously, you can push through it and take that with you, but it's very hard to do so. If we were to work with her and do a couple of recodes, or maybe just one in some cases, what happens is when we have the neuron here, we have the feeling and pain on the memory. When we have the memory, we remove the emotion and feelings off the memory becomes wisdom. So when we did that process, that recode with her, she'd simply just walk on the stage with total confidence, but she may check to make sure there's nothing she can trip over. She may check to make sure the lighting, the speakers, and everything's ready to go, the microphone works, because it now becomes wisdom. So what we're going to do basically today is we're looking at the recode. We're going to get you all to focus on your true end result, what you want to create, and some of these beliefs will come up in your field and we'll be able to clear them. They're not good enough is always trying to do more to be good enough. Not worthy, we're always looking for self. We're always looking for serving others. How can we serve others to make ourselves feel worthy? The don't belong is we're always trying to create communities or businesses or groups so we can step into it and have that feeling of belonging. And that was my big one. I was like 8 out of 10 solid don't belong. So I used to have massive resistance to going into public spaces. Even though I was an extrovert and loved people and being in communities, I struggled with it. Once I was in it, for 10, 15 minutes, the resistance went down. It was okay, but it was always a struggle. Not perfect, always trying to create things around your life that are perfect. You might have the perfect house, the perfect job, but trying to create everything that's perfect so you can fulfill that not perfectness. Not capable, you feel that you're not capable to achieve what you want to achieve. So therefore you might go out and do a modality, do a course, do a program, read a book. All these things that you go out to start, you'll simply not finish them because you believe you're not capable, but you go out and purchase them to create them because you want to feel capable. And then insignificant is you want to go out and do big things to become significant so you can feel like you actually belong significant-wise in the world. And it might be like you want to become a neuroscientist or a doctor or accountant or a lawyer, something that really puts you out as a high status. You're looking for status to give you more of being significant. So moving along. So the 4 orientational choices. Now, when we work on these 4 orientational, I choose a life I love. I choose health and vitality. I choose my true nature and purpose, and I choose my predominant creative force. When we're actually choosing these 4, life becomes very easy. Once we work through these 4, which only takes a couple of weeks, we remove all the resistance to having these 4, and then taking the action is very easy. Once we start taking that action, we can actually start creating and having what it is that we truly want. So first we might step into choosing a life I love. Now you can use one of these 4 as your desired reality today. There might be something else you want to work on today, and it's entirely up to you. You get to choose what you want to today. But if you're not too sure, you can simply pick one of these 4 and see what's in the resistance, what's in the way to creating it. My recommendation is certainly choose the one that you haven't created yet, that's got the most resistance, because then you can have a bigger shift when we do the recode. So journey to superconscious living. When we're basically born, we're born previously when we were inside mum's tummy, we had it all. So if we were to rewind the tape and look at the first second that you were created, that first very dot, when mum and dad came together, sperm and egg, and you were created, you're simply a dot of energy that's so small that we can't even see it. And that's so powerful to think that you can go from that dot all the way through to a complete adult now, which is so powerful to have this full functional body and be able to breathe and eat and process and do everything that we do. So for the first 4 weeks, we grow and our body forms, and we have our heart come down from our brain, our organs are starting to form, our skin. We're getting the style and look of a little fetus, of a little baby. On the 4th week, that's where the spirit comes in, and we know this, it's been proven through science, because that's when the heart starts beating. As soon as the heart starts beating, we then have an unconscious, and the unconscious is there for the end of our life. For that first 4 weeks of our life, it's our superconscious that creates us. The field of information, passed down DNA, family attributes, everything, who we are, skin color, looks, height, eye color, all passed down. That's all information in the superconscious that's been created from that dot from where you first created, that's also passed down from mum and dad. So it's so powerful. So we're inside mum and dad's tummy, we obviously have it all. We have food, temperature, we can hear a voice, daddy's voice. We can go to the toilet when we want to. Everything seems limitless. We have it all. And in that 9 months of being inside mummy's tummy, we're simply getting ready for our journey to, as a shift to come into the real world as we know it, as on earth. So when we're actually born, we go through that process of being born, through the pain and everything, we open our eyes and we get cut from the umbilical cord. As soon as we take our first breath, we're then classed as a human being. And for the first days and weeks and whatnot, we'll go through the fact and we'll put up limitations around that, having limited perspective around, you know, now I have to cry to get my nappy changed. I have to cry to have food. I have to cry when I'm tired. We simply have all these limitations that are taken away from us of how it was beforehand. So we have a real taste of what it's like to be in this human form. And obviously, for the first couple of years as a baby, we just want to grow and get big as what we can and start learning how to walk, talk, and all the rest of it. As we're going through that process from the age of 2 up to the age of 7, we're taking on all these new things, you know, and this is where we get a lot of our sabotaging belief and self-limiting beliefs around what we're actually capable of, what we're good enough for. Because say, for example, mum might drop us off to kindy, you know, preschool at the age of 3 because she has to go to work. And we might hate that and cry because why is mummy leaving me? You know, we might put up a sabotaging belief of not good enough because otherwise mum wouldn't leave. You know, I mean, mummy's just going to work to make money so we can have a better life, but we don't understand that. We might put up a belief that we're not good enough, we're not capable, we're not worthy because of that reason. It's different for everybody and it's never the same because we're all different. But quickly going through this, in a nutshell, between the top journey of superconscious living and the bottom connect to your superconscious, we're putting all these limitations on our life and creating what we want simply from emotions and feelings on past memories that don't serve us. So in this work, which you get to experience today as a recode, we step into that recode, we focus on our desired reality, we look at where it is now, we get the structural teach in the middle, the resistance, and then we ask our superconscious to go into your unconscious and remove it, which is so powerful. So if everybody else have a think about a true goal they'd like to work on today, that's absolutely fantastic. What I will do is I'll put this board up to those that haven't done any of this work before. And I can stop sharing. How are you enjoying it so far? Getting a bit out of it? If there's any questions before we start the recode, I'd be more than happy to answer it. It's really important that our unconscious is completely on board in regards to this process because it's very, very cool. Thanks, Pretty. I thank you. Yes, welcome, Pretty and Etakur. Is it, Riemann? Thank you so much for coming along, giving us your time. I had a filling fall out of my tooth 3 weeks ago, so I've went this morning. I thought it would be a simple process. I didn't realise he was going to stick needles in there just to replace the filling. So my mouth's a little bit strange today, which is so funny. Everything happens for a reason. So I don't normally look like this. I probably sound a little bit clearer normally, but it's just because I've got half a gummy mouth all numbed up. So yeah, so for everybody, really, I just really want you to focus on what you want to create. Adrian, actually got a great question here. I having a trouble with lack of purpose. Is that too general for RECODE? If I have trouble visualizing what I'm doing in the desired reality, sure, okay, great question. So if you're having resistance around this, Adrian, that's beautiful because I would then choose it. So we can step in the desired reality, and when you've got your eyes closed, we block out the consciousness, which is your perception, so you're able to see more. And I'll guide you through this when I'm doing the talk. And then your unconscious will believe it to be true. So say, for example, if we wanted to picture being on a beach and we close our eyes, we'll step into hearing the waves, smelling the seaweed, hearing the kids next to us swimming and laughing, hearing the ducks, or the seagulls flying past, or whatever it may be. We step into all the beautiful senses around what it is that we want to create. And that will actually bring up all the resistance. If you're having trouble visualizing what I'm doing in the desired reality, it just depends exactly what your desired reality is. Sometimes we have an invisible instruction to go out and create what we think we need to create. Mum and Dad said we should always be a lawyer, so we step in trying to create to be a lawyer, but it never feels right. So it's going to be hard to visualize because it's not our true nature and purpose. So that's when we learn is to step into our intuition, which meditations are in the masterclass. But when we step into our intuition, we can actually ask for that information to come through and start activating the muscle in our brain that actually allows us to have the visualization and allow our true purpose to come through. So great question. There is no right or wrong in this work. We simply just allow for what it is. So I hope that answered your question there. Excellent. So if everybody wants to write down, if they have a piece of paper, just write down exactly what they'd like to create in their desired reality. If it's one of these four, if we can see that all right, that's fine. Just pick one of these four. 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you pick your desired reality in one of these four, just put a 1 in the chat room for me so I know that you're all on board and you all know what you want to work on today as your desired reality. Number 3, excellent. And just while I'm there too, for the last couple of people, Prissy and Itakur, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You might hopefully have watched the education video, so you'll have a good education around this. I'm guessing you have, because Pretty's already got 3 in there. That's great. Cool. So we write down our desired reality. Now, if we focus on our desired reality, I want everybody to think. If it's number 3, I choose my true nature and purpose. I want everybody to think what that is for them. So what I'd like to do is everybody now just to close their eyes and really step into exactly what they've chosen as their desired reality. Now, there's a few of you who've chosen 3, which is fantastic, so I can guide you through that as well. But for those that have chosen the desired reality, just step into that. Step what it is for you. I want you to notice what you notice. And remember, when we have closed eye, we leave all the perception and thought. Our consciousness can have no information coming in, so we learn to relax, and our unconscious believes what we see to be true. And this is so powerful. This is not hypnosis. This is no other modality. This is just simply closed eye, so our unconscious can see everything to be true, and it believes it. Then it naturally puts a resistance up. So just take a breath in the nose and out the mouth, getting into relaxation. And now for those that chose number 3, I choose my true nature and purpose. Really step into what that means for you. And for those that have a different desired reality, step into that, what means to you. Just really step into that true desired reality, that true choice that you're choosing today. I choose my true nature and purpose. It's living in alignment with my fullest expression. It may be being a parent, a sports person, serving others, a musician, an artist. Why you are here, my true nature and purpose. Really step into that and see what you see, feel what you feel, hear what you hear. See it through your eyes, hear it through your ears, breathe it through your mouth. It's beautiful true nature and purpose. And for the others in the desired reality, what it is for you, step into it. See what you see. Where are you? Who are you with? Really step into that desired reality, that true choice that you're choosing today. And the more emotion and clarity we can get around, the more feeling, the smells, the look, the touch, the bigger the resistance that will come in the field and the bigger the shift that we'll have today. Excellent. So once you get those beautiful emotions and feelings of what you're choosing just because you love it, and times it by 10, times it by 20, times it by 50, just notice how beautiful and loving and great that feels. And then when you're ready, open up your eyes and come on back. So how cool is that? That beautiful true end result, a beautiful creation just because we love it. So that was our desired reality in here. You just went through choosing something in here. Now we're going to do a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 is your current reality, 1 is your desired reality. I want everybody to pick a number between 1 and 10 of resistance that's in the way to having our desired reality. So currently as a 10, there's lots of resistance. I can't have it, I'm stuck. A 5 would be in the middle, I'm isolating towards this and having some of this. Pick a number between 1 and 10. 1 is you're just having it all now. Exactly what you stepped into as your desired reality would be a 1. If you're actually having it all now, living that life, that would be a 1. If you're not having any of it, would be a 10. I'm really stuck. I've got too much resistance to create that. So just pick a number between 1 and 10 and just throw it in the chat box when you're ready. You don't have to if you don't want to. Just throw it in there. Excellent, cool. So when we've got some 9s, this is powerful because we know there's lots of resistance. So that's beautiful. That's awesome. And this process here has got, this is just a conscious process. So afterwards you can see the shift that you have. There's nothing to do with the actual recode and modality. It's just to see the conscious shift. Excellent. So I want everybody now just to close their eyes. And now we're going to step into the current reality, what it's like. Step into the now of having less, not having what you love. And just notice what you notice. Notice how it feels so different, knowing that you haven't created it yet. Just to step into the scarcity, what's in the way? Any frustrations, any fears. Notice now the resistance that's in the way of your desired reality. You're not good enough, not capable. Notice all that resistance in your field that's in the way. Could be just a fear of what the family might say or think if you were to take action on your desired reality. What others may feel or think. And maybe that you just have a massive belief of not worthiness and you just can't take action. It doesn't matter what it is. There's no right or wrong. Just notice what you notice. Notice all the beliefs and emotions that are in the way from creating a desired reality. Excellent. Feels really good. Awesome. And then open up your eyes. Awesome. So basically what we're going to do now is we'll do the recode. So here is you beautiful people with a big smile. Here's me. If you press on, here's a field of energy around you. We all have our fields. It's our field of information. It's our superconscious. It's who we are and what we are. What happens when we do the recode is I'm going to go out here. Well, this is me. This is you. I'm going to go out here into the field because fields around us. You're going to give me permission to access your superconscious. And I'm going to go up here and I simply give a whole lot of questions from the superconscious. I ask a lot of questions, normally in my mind, through my intuition, through innocence. I'll ask a lot of questions and then I'll get answers and then I'll basically give instructions to your superconscious to go in and remove these feelings, emotions of past memories. So it's really, really powerful. It's quite different because here's your superconscious here. It's like the field of information around your conscious feeling and thought and unconscious. So what we do here is like you might have hypnosis or some other modalities that actually focus on going in here and then taking out, well not taking out, but reprogramming what's in here. It's hypnosis. And then you'll have coming out, you have a better result. It can take weeks or months, etc. It's not always exactly pinpointed like it is when we're using our superconscious. What we do here is we get the superconscious to go in and do the work. So the superconscious is going in there and doing the work because your superconscious originally put these memories there as a child or in the first 4 weeks of creation from memories from mum and dad, which is so, so powerful. Cool. So all you basically do is give me permission to connect your superconscious and then just enjoy the ride. Just relax. Notice what you notice. You'll get what you give. It's everything. There's no right or wrong in this work. Just allow to go with it. We've just had Angela join us. Angela, have you done any of this work before? I just want to make sure. We're just going to step in the recode. If you haven't done any work, just sort of support us and just be in the field and stuff because we want to make sure you're focusing on your desired reality when you do this recode. If you have, that's beautiful. Just focus on something you want to create, whether it's love, relationship, business, whatever it may be. And then we'll step in the recode and do it. But if you haven't done any education, and thank you so much for tuning up, but I'd probably just suggest that you just watch and listen because we want to make sure that you understand this process. Otherwise, what happens if we jump into a recode and we're not focusing on a desired reality, we're focused from a problem solving, we'll get more of this. We don't want to go we don't want to go down that road. We want to focus on removing what's in the way of resistance to what we want rather than what we don't want. So yeah, thank you, Angela. If you have done the work, that's fantastic. Like I said, we're going to step in and out a desired reality. If not, love you just to listen and watch. And then I can email you the recording, and then you'll get it all, and then you can go through the process afterwards, which is so cool. So everybody have a quick glass of water if you need to. Apart from that, just get comfortable. Make sure no legs or arms are crossed. We want to be completely central so that energy can flow through us. And then just close your eyes and step into your desired reality. Just step into having it all, what your choice is today, my true nature and purpose, to find health, love, whatever it may be. Just step into that beautiful desired end result reality of whatever it is you choose today. That's it. Really step into the feeling. Notice what you notice. Who are you with? Where are you? What do you see? Step into this beautiful desired reality of creation. And you're just creating it just because you love it and for no other reason. And then I just want you all to say out loud, I give permission for Greg to access my superconscious. Will it in your heart? That's it. Superconscious, are you there? Yes, cool. Excellent. Superconscious, do you see this true choice that we've chosen today? We've chosen this beautiful desired reality. Do you see what it's so important today? It's cool. Superconscious, I'm going to use a metaphor for your unconscious. I'm going to use a metaphor of a sports field. I want you to visualize a sports field, and you're standing at one end of the sports field next to the goals. And at the other end of the sports field is your desired reality. So you're currently standing in your current reality, looking down at the field to the other end of the field, which is your desired reality, which is your true choice you've chosen today. And you've just noticed on this field that a whole lot of gophers or moles have dug holes in the field and created holes and lumps of dirt. These holes and lumps of dirt is the resistance to you getting to your other goal, getting to your desired reality. So this recode process that we're about to do simply fills in all those holes, smooths it over with a feather, so you can simply have your desired reality with ease, with less resistance. This process will increase satisfaction and decrease pain, enable you to take action easily to anything you choose. And superconscious, unconscious, I also want you to realize and remember too that no parts of you die doing this process. All we're doing is removing emotions and feelings off memories. The memory then becomes wisdom, which is a very beautiful, powerful thing. Excellent. So I want everybody to focus on their desired reality, focus on what they love just because they love it. True nature and purpose, whatever it may be for you, just really focus on that. Superconscious, please create the perfect treatment plan, please. With beautiful love and gratitude for all things. Really focusing on this beautiful treatment plan. This true end result. Really step into that true end result. Notice where you are, what you're doing. All the feeling around it. Superconscious, please treat all masculine and feminine beliefs, please, to this true choice we've chosen today. Treat it the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Good. Superconscious, please treat all beliefs to having this true end choice, please, this desired reality. Please treat not good enough not capable, not worthy, insignificant, not perfect, and don't belong, please. Treat all beliefs in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Good. Superconscious, can you please also treat all aspects and identities passed down from family, please? Anything that's blocking this true choice? Any judgment from others, any fear, any worry, any frustration, please. Treat it all the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Excellent. Now just take a big breath and focus again on your desired reality. Focus on what you love it just because you love it. Focus on this creation that you're stepping into to create, this beautiful desired reality. Superconscious, can you please treat all definitions, please? All alignment with desire, and do a massive change history. Thank you. Superconscious, for some of you, there's also quite a strong fear and judgment from others. Can you please treat that? Being judged from others, thank you. Treat it the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all beliefs again. All beliefs that are in a way of this true end result. Treat it the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Good. Please treat all part personalities. All part personalities, please. The protector controller. The inner child. The people pleaser. The wounded. The perfectionist. Please treat all part personalities, please, in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Please treat all events from the past, present, and future, thank you, and do a massive change history. Please treat all emotions from the past and the current, please, and do a massive change history. Good. Please treat all broken agreements from the past, broken promises, treat it the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all secondary intentions, gains, judgments, thank you. Treat it all and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all body systems, please. Organs, blood flow, heart, joints, skin. All body systems, please. Also, please treat all chakras, the lower chakras, middle chakras, upper chakras. Please treat all resistance in chakras, please, in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, I just want you to really focus on your chakras, please. Can you really focus on the stomach chakra, please? Please treat all fear and pain around that. We have these chakras front and back. Treat the front and the back, please. Also, please treat the heart front and back, please, and the throat chakra, please, again, thank you. Treat it all the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Excellent. Superconscious, I might like you to now just to notice where you are. Notice this desired reality, what you're choosing. Notice how there's less resistance now. So what I'd like you to do is to go up out of your body, leaving your body sitting where it is, Go up out of your body, looking down at your body. And now I want you to turn and look towards your past, to your timeline. That's it. Now I want you to go down your timeline, all the way down to an event that's in the past, the very first event. Go all the way down to a teenager, a child, whatever number year comes up for you. I want you to go back to the very first event when you created limitation on having this true choice today. The very first event where you may have put up a belief or emotion or a feeling that you can't have this. Go all the way back to the very first event where you put limitations on creating this true choice we've chosen today. And you don't have to see it, you just have to know where it is. If you can see it, that's fine too. But go back to this first event. And now looking at this event, I want you to just before that event, on the timeline just before that event, I want you to put a new event. Put a new positive event. An event that serves you well, that has lots of joy and happiness. And I want you to plant this new event just before the old one. That's it. Push it down in the timeline. Push it all the way down there into your timeline, this new, happy, positive event. This event that serves you, that's just beautiful. Putting it into your timeline, that's it. Push it down, plant it in there. That's it. Good. Now looking down at this new event, I want you now to look back to the event of where you are now and notice how everything's changed. I want you to go up as a child through those years, going up through all the years as a child, a teenager, your 20s, whatever it is for you. Come all the way back to now and just notice how everything's changed because of this new event. Come all the way back to now, come back into your body, and now look forward. Look forward to the new events in the future, how they're different, how they've changed because of this new event that you've created. Superconscious, please do a massive change history. Thank you. To any resistance to creating this beautiful new way. Good. It's feeling really good, guys. Take a couple of breaths and really just step into your true end result. I'm going to do a sentence procedure now. And what I want you to do, Superconscious, is tag and treat anything that's not true. I love having my desired reality. Please tag and treat. Having my desired reality is easy for me. Please tag and treat and do a massive change history. I have so much fun being my end result. My desired reality. I just love it. Please tag and treat. I am it now. Please tag and treat. Superconscious, I want you to now picture a circle, a golden ring that's just out in front of you. And any other resistance that's in the way to this true choice, I want you to put it in the ring. I want you to bring out any part personalities that are hiding. Any family history. Put it all into this ring and notice what you notice. Subconscious, please treat all resistance within this beautiful gold ring in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history so it simply becomes blank apart from the beautiful gold ring. Treat it all, please. Thank you. Excellent. Subconscious, just one last thing too. Can you also please treat all family history? Thank you. 7 generations on my mother's side and 7 generations on my father's side. Please treat all resistance this true end choice, please, from family history. Thank you. And do a massive change history. And now I just want you to notice what you notice. Notice how beautiful it feels to be in your desired reality. Superconscious, please ground all the memories we've touched today and reconnect everything back in the matrix of the universe, including memories 1, 2, and 3, which is our conscious, unconscious, and superconscious. Please ground all other memories, ego states, tandem memories, shadow memories, all levels of philosophy. Please ground all memories into the beautiful consciousness. Please return into the matrix of the universe. Thank you. Now I want you to notice what actions you're going to take. Step into these actions you're going to take and are taking to create this true end result, whatever it may be for you, this desired reality. Notice what you notice. Notice what comes through. Step into the feeling of these actions. Experience these actions. Just notice what you notice. And noticing all these actions, notice more actions. Notice all the actions you're going to take to create this beautiful end choice desired reality. And then when you're ready, you can take a big breath, open up your eyes, twiddle your toes, twiddle your fingers, and come on back when you're ready. What a beautiful experience. How's everybody feeling out there? You just throw in the chat if you want to how it was. Great, excellent, Angela, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us. And just while you're typing into that, if you all want to have a think now about what number of resistance you have, you better notice the shift. Yeah, great, tingly. Yeah, excellent. At peace, beautiful, Emily. Yeah, Adrianne's. So when we do the recode and removing the resistance, which is the emotion and feeling of the memory, when we break the neuron and we remove it and turn it into wisdom. Excuse my mouth is starting to get all closed on me. But when we go through that process and removing the emotion and feeling off the memory, we get flicks and waves of energy and just all sorts of patterns in our body. That's the emotion and feeling leaving our body, and it's gone from that memory. Then the memory becomes wisdom. So yeah, truly powerful. So that's why we feel spacey. Yes, absolute prayer. That's beautiful because we've removed resistance in here that's in our way. So we now may be able to say, okay, my resistance number before was a 9 out of 10. Now what's our resistance number? Where have we moved to between 1 and 10? Throw it in the chat. Put your first number in. Quite a few put number 9. What's your resistance number now? Has it gone from a 9 to a 1, a 9 to a 5, a 9 to an 8? There's no right or wrong. It just shows our conscious up here that we've had that shift down to a 5. Excellent. That's awesome. So beforehand, say for example, if we use the true nature and purpose and you're a 9 or a 10, it's very hard to do that. Excellent, Emily. When we're on a 5 or less, which is halfway, anywhere between 5 and 1 or 0, you can actually take action and start creating it, which is cool. Anything from a 6 to 10, it's very hard to take action. You probably won't take action because there's too much of this going on. So that's why we focus over a period of time, because transformation takes time in this work as we go through eliminating all this resistance. So we're getting everything down to 0s, 1s and 2s and just taking more action. And that's the power of this work, is bringing all our resistance down, removing what's in the way, and then having our desired reality, creating a new identity, which basically, believes that it can survive and create all of it. And then the beautiful thing is when we step into that taking action, the universe automatically puts everything in front of us to create it, which is so powerful. Because everything you have now, you've created it. It's no difference in this work except we remove the resistance. Because everything you have now, you've created because it's probably been easy. It's what you want. You've stepped in and done it. You've had a lot less resistance to these other things that we know deep down that from love and heart that we want to create.